All right, welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm here now, and this is a good moment because the Infiniti is gone. I've sold it, I've replaced it. But the question is, what did I replace it with? Well, I gotta be honest, I kind of feel like Hoovie's Garage the way I got hosed on this deal. But I mean, I'm making what I can of this. But what I replaced the Infiniti with. For a quick backstory, I had a 1997 Infiniti Q45. That was great, but it had some maintenance issues coming up, and I decided to sell it. So, let's turn around and see what I replaced it with. There it is! This, my friends, is a 1995 Camaro Z28. Oh yes, I made sure to get the Z28. And like I said, I feel like Hoovie's Garage the way I got hosed on this one because it's bad. It's really bad. First of all, I'll show you the damage. So there you go. I got this thing really cheap, and that's the reason why. And I was like, that's no problem, having the cheapest Z28 I could find. That just means I have more to spend on it, keep it up and going. But no, of course, I learned nothing from how much I've watched that channel. There's a reason these things are so cheap, and we'll get into that here in a second. But just to give you a full walk around, here it is. Still got the beautiful stock wheels, love that. And like I mentioned, this is a Z28, so you got your T-tops here, which is a pretty rare option, and you've got a 6-speed manual. Wow. This one in particular, being a 95, means you have the LT1 motor in it before the LS1 that came in the 98s and later, and that's okay. And moving on around, you can see, I mean, this headlight or tail light's a little smashed in, but that's okay. No big worry there. And coming around to this side over here, you can see it, Z28. Very nice. I do have the other badge too, and I'll get into what else I have in a moment, but this is what I've got right now, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, that Camaro's cool and all, but you actually sold it a month ago and got something else. So let's talk about that instead. That Camaro, as you can see, was kind of a tragedy. It was pretty bad. But this one's good. This one's really good, I promise. Because it is not a terrible project car. It's actually something I spent real money on to get. What might that be? Well, we're going to find out here in just a second. But let me tell you, I've been dreaming of this moment for a long time. Let's take a look. There it is. Oh, yeah. Take a look at this, guys. This is my 2004 Dodge Viper SRT10. And there's no tricks. There's no gimmicks. This is mine. And I bought it actually with my own money. I'm not daddy's money anymore. I used my own money to get this one. But anyways, here it is. My 2004 Dodge Viper SRT10. It is a gorgeous car. It is one that I've always wanted since like high school, basically. And here it is today in the flesh. And it is indeed mine. Let's talk about it, shall we? If you don't know anything about the Dodge Viper, which you probably do if you know even just a little bit about cars, the Viper's philosophy was put a big engine in it, put a 6-speed manual in it, and rear-wheel drive, and nothing else. And the thing with the 3rd-gen Vipers, which this is they kept that philosophy, added just a couple more safety features like airbags and ABS. But other than that, you still don't get traction control. You still don't get stability control. You still get a big old V10 engine with a 6-speed manual. And of course, we can take a look at that as well under here, which a neat party trick with the old Vipers is you can just come down here and always open the hood, even if the car is locked. So taking a look in here, you can see it there, that massive 8.3 liter V10. Man, look at the size of that thing right there. That is a beautiful engine if I've ever seen it. And of course, you can see written there V10 505. That means this is a V10 that is 505 cubic inches. Not only that, it's got 500 horsepower as well. I believe it's 505 actually. It's either 500 or 505. I can't remember. But either way, a lot of engine and not so much car. The Viper in general was built from Chrysler's parts bin, except the motor, of course, which was co-developed by Lamborghini. But even then, they somehow made it work, and believe it or not, the Vipers always have a reputation for getting squirrely and injuring the driver and the structural components to the car from crashing into a pole or something. However, once you get these cars right, they actually are pretty good. And what I mean by that is they actually can corner pretty well, and they can actually accelerate very strongly. Me, myself, I've had this car for a month now. I will not be going too crazy with it, and the roll to 60 test, it will be highly inaccurate to what this car can actually do. But that's okay, because I still want to try it, and let's get into the next problem with the roll to 60 test. So, lucky for me, this Viper will hit 60 miles an hour in first gear. That is a lucky for me, because one of the main issues with this particular Viper is the transmission is not great. Of course, it's got the T56 manual transmission in it, but this one in particular grinds in first and second. The synchros are almost gone completely in it. But that's okay, because that means I'm going to be gentle with this car. I'm not going to try and do anything crazy in it. And for the roll to 60 test, I'm just going to smack the red line in first and call it good enough. Other problems with this car include just some minor things. Well, one of them is pretty major still. We can talk about that right now. The rear differential, which is behind the passenger and driver's seat and all that good stuff, connects the wheels, whatever. It's leaking, and that's not good. I am working to find someone to be able to replace that as we speak. And other than that, the mechanical condition of this car actually is very good. The engine runs well, just got the oil changed in it, checked the other fluids, all good there. And the tires are old, but have good tread life and have definitely kept me in check, because it means I'm not going to drive this thing as hard. And the other components are all good. This Viper in particular has also been in an accident before, which you can see based on this panel gap right here being a bit large. It was sideswiped here. Airbags didn't deploy, but vehicle was towed, but that's okay, because it looked to be repaired decently. And other than that, really, it's a good little car. Electronic door handles are something I've been getting used to. That's fun. Looking inside here, you can see not too much special, just a typical Dodge interior. And let's talk about the modifications on this car, because there are some. I wanted a Viper as stock as possible, which this is probably as far away from stock as I would have felt comfortable getting, because when I was looking for a Viper, the things I were looking for are three primary factors. One, had to be a third generation Viper. Two, it had to be Viper red. And three, it had to have the stock wheels. Apart from that, I didn't want some supercharged Viper. I didn't want something with some crazy sequential setup or anything like that. I wanted to be able to enjoy it just how it was built. And in terms of modifications, engine's all stock, transmission is mostly stock. The only thing is this short throw shifter, and everything else is bone stock. Oh yes, of course, you got a custom sound system in here too, which sounds terrible, by the way. Whoever did it did not do a very good job. But other than that, everything is bone stock on the car, even down to the tires. These Michelin Pilot Sports, the originals, were what would have came on the Viper when it was new. And of course, just looking around this thing once again, it's a good looking car. It's got the top where you have to open the trunk to get it up and down. And we can open this up and take a seat inside, stepping over this massive divide here between the seats and the outside world. Once in here, you can see we got the dashboard here with some awesome looking gauges. Aftermarket radio, forgot to mention that. That actually does work pretty good. Apple CarPlay and all that good stuff. And yes. So I guess there's one thing left to do, and that's to take this thing for a drive. So let's go and do that. A couple things I want to mention before we go on our drive here that I actually missed is, first of all, the exhaust is done up, so it's loud. Okay, sure, cool. And also the AC doesn't work. Forgot to mention that, which in the heart of summer here is not the most pleasant thing in the world, but it is what it is. And luckily I got the world around me to cool me down, so that's nice too. But yeah, let's get it started and let's go for a drive. So just starting it up, simple as turning the key, hitting the button, and then we fire it up. All right, so let us go for a drive. And hopefully the camera mount doesn't fall off. It's shaking quite a bit. I don't know if you can see that on video or not, but this is probably the shakiest car that this phone mount has done yet. So, but of course that would be a Viper thing to do. So, getting behind the wheel of the car, it's actually pretty drivable for what you would expect. I'm not going to say it's like super drivable or anything, but shoot, I knew that would happen. So as I expected, my phone fell off of the windshield there, which that's fun, but hopefully it'll hold up for the roll to 60 test. Other than that, I couldn't care less. Driving this thing around, it is about as you'd expect for a Viper. Pretty rough, pretty aggressive. Feels like it wants to kill you, even going at slow speeds. Suspension very stiff, steering's very tight and direct. Although not as tight and direct as I've ever felt, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And short throw shifter, I really don't like them at all, to be honest. And this one is no different. But here's the fun part now. Am I even going to be able to do this, dude? There's a curve right there. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. Let's see. Here we go. There it is, right there. And you can hear that second gear. Okay, so that was not pleasant, but I tried to ease into it just to give me all the chances possible not to hurt myself or this car. So there's that. Well, let's see this. 60 right there. Okay. Even cruising on this very smooth road and just going at a normal speed here. Really, it wants to go fast, which that's not a problem, but it is a problem when you are trying to obey a speed limit. So let me roll these windows up, give us a little more sound checking. There we go. There is something under the car, I think maybe a skid plate or something making a noise. I've been told that's not too much of a concern right now, but it is there. So of course the car, it's a flashy car. I have people look at me everywhere I go and give me a thumbs up or a wave or what have you, all that good stuff, which I'm definitely not opposed to. It'll be interesting to see once I have this car for a little while how I feel about that, because I'm not exactly, I say this as sincerely as I can, owning a Dodge Viper, but I am not one for massive amount of attention while I'm on the road. I am one for enjoying the experience that I have, which is kind of why I like the Honda so much, is because it looks good to me. It is actually modified, give or take, as much as as nice as it can be. Of course, that's very subjective, but it doesn't draw attention. So I get to look at it and say, wow, I did a really good job. This looks amazing. I love all the stuff that's done to it. And no one else cares. Whereas this car, I sit at it, I look, and I say, wow, that's a beautiful looking car, and I own it. That's awesome and everything. And then other people will say the same thing, no matter where I am. So it's cool getting to talk to people about the Viper. I've definitely met some new people already because of it. And this car is not exactly super unaffordable. The third gens are kind of the least desirable among the Viper generations. And for that reason, this one was actually the cheapest Viper that I could find. And it was $46,500 is how much I paid for this one. So not a crushing check there I had to write, but at the same time, it's more than I've ever spent on a car. And it may be worth it, it may not be, but you can't argue with that. Woo, that is really quick. Easily the fastest car I've ever had, as you would imagine as well. That Camaro, I'm sure in this video I would have edited in the roll to 60 on that and whatever that did. Sure, cool, whatever. But this car, out of all the cars that I owned, is the fastest. And I'm in love with it. I really am. Now, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or not, locally love CRZ, but there's a reason I haven't changed the name of it to something about this car yet. It's because I like my Honda better. I bet you didn't expect that one. Oh, I love that little Honda though. That thing is so good. It's just the right car for me. I can beat on it all I want. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about second gear grinding like it just did. And all that good stuff. Which I'd love to get that figured out, but I don't really have the money to solve that right now. But that's okay, because with this car, this is one that I can just stick in the driveway or the garage. I keep it in the garage. It's the one I can stick in the garage, forget about it for a while until I can afford repairs on it, which is nice. So yeah, that's kind of my third generation Dodge Viper for you. And man, it is a cool little car, that's for sure. I love it a lot. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Leave them in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to keep enjoying my car, and we'll see what comes of it. Another thing I forgot to mention, actually, is this thing has 55,000 miles on it. So, pretty high miles for a Viper, but that's okay with me because I intend on driving it, and I wanted a car with at least 40 on it so I could drive it and not feel guilty. And that's what I got. So, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me out a lot, and it doesn't really. I'm not even monetized, but you know, it will help if you keep doing it. Anyways, guys, have a great day, and see you later.